Hello, everybody. It's Preston here, aka Godzilla Hawk, and I'm here to give you guys your payback review. Very tired. I had to take a couple of my friends home, so I just want to kind of relax and I wanted to wait until the right time, and I figured, no, I should do it right now before Raw comes on in a little bit. So I figure I give you guys your Raw review, or not Raw review, your payback review from last night. A lot of people have mixed reactions about this pay-per-view, but I want to discuss it as a whole, not just talk about parts of it. So we're gonna go to each match. The opening was for the tag team number one contenders match for tag team championships. Enzo Cass versus Vaudevillains. Now, first of all, I think they should have honestly had the tag team championships defended on this night, and they should have had Enzo Cass versus Vaudevillains on Raw, and then the winner of that match would face the New Day at last night's pay-per-view for the championships. That's what I believe should have happened. But they still did this match, and it was still hyped up a little bit, so it wasn't like a throwaway match. So at least you were looking forward to getting into this match. And the match ends in a couple minutes. Now, the reason why, we all know the reason why, but if you don't know, Enzo ended up sliding under the ring, and it looked like he got his head caught on I think it was the bottom rope. But if you look at the replay, it looks like he barely touched the rope. Instead, his arm got caught on the rope. And it turns out it might have been a whiplash effect. He might have hit his head on the apron or when he fell out of the ground. Whatever the case may be, he was knocked out. He was not moving. Everybody was stunned. The Vaudevillains were stunned. New Day was stunned. Everybody was stunned. He had to be carted out, and they ended the match immediately. So only 2 minutes of the match, and they had to stop it. Now, this is a great excuse on why you can't judge this match, because injuries can happen, and this was a very serious one. They had to just stop the match because it was that serious. Normally, if it was a 2-minute match, I would complain, but Enzo did get hurt, and he went to the local hospital, and we just found out that he got released from the hospital last night. So, for what we heard, he did get a concussion, but other than that, he's doing fine. I don't know when he'll be back in the arena. Maybe he'll be back tonight. I really hope not, because if he did get a concussion, I think he should be out for at least a few more weeks. Do some more tests on him to find out, get estimate on when he should be back, because we don't know how bad the concussion was. Maybe it only lasts for a few weeks, or maybe it lasts a few months. We don't know. But as of right now, he's doing all right. And now as it returns for this match, we don't know now what's going to happen. We don't know if Enzo Cass and the Vaudevillains are going to get a rematch. I don't know if they're just going to give it to the Vaudevillains and they're going to face New Day at Extreme Rules. I don't know if they're maybe going to do a 3-way Extreme Rules. I don't know what they're going to do. And just FYI, I didn't do live reactions, but Brandon was there, and he thought that this thing was that this really made me want to hurt him, punch him, just because how stupid he sounded. He thought this looked like what was the word? He looked like this was a storyline. He thought this was fake, and it's like, no, he didn't. No, this was real. I mean, how could he fake this? First of all, he was legit not moving. You could see the fast play that it was a harsh whiplash, and it looked like he could have hit his head on the apron and got himself a concussion. And then why would the referee stop the match in 2 minutes? He did the X thing too, which means he's hurt. And if this was played out as a storyline wise, they would not stop the match. This was storyline wise, they would have taken out Enzo and they would have made it to a handicap match, because that's what WWE would do if this was played as a storyline. But they didn't. The New Day saw it and they were shocked. Cassidy was shocked and horrified. The commentators were silent, and even the Vaudevillains were absolutely surprised. They broke character and were absolutely shocked. And they're supposed to be heels. So, without further ado, it has been confirmed that he was injured. So, Brandon, you can suck it for saying that that was a a storyline, because that is complete bullcrap. So, I got really nothing else to say about that. But I just wanted for the record that he was 100% wrong, and every other fan, whether you're a wrestling fan or not, should have known that was an injury. So that's not really all I can say. But all I can say right now is Enzo's all right at the moment. So thank God. But now we'll see what happens now. And hopefully they find out what we'll do with this, and we'll find out how long Enzo will be out. Next match, we have Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. This match was amazing. Maybe not amazing, but this match was great. This was a great match. Surprisingly, it could have gone either way. If Sami Zayn would have won, I would have been fine. Kevin Owens winning kind of surprised me a little bit. And what surprised me even more was he technically won cleanly again. I mean, really think about it. I mean, what happened? He hit a super kick and then powerbomb, and that was it. The only thing I thought they should have done differently was they should have Owens hit the powerbomb 1-2 kick out, has Sami Zayn hit the haluva kick 1-2 kick out, and then towards like the last minute or two have Owens do the kick, powerbomb 1-2-3. So that way, excuse me, sorry about that. So that way, you know, it makes it a little bit better. It gets more, excuse me. Sorry about that. More emotion into a more invested match. But either of that, that's the only nitpick I had. Either that, the match was good, and you know for a fact they're going to continue the match. Been a lot of rumors speculating what's going to happen in Extreme Rules, especially after this next match. And I'm going to get my thoughts about that match right now. Next, we got The Miz versus Cesaro for the Intercontinental Championship. This match was actually a lot better than people thought this was going to be. People thought this match was going to be, it's going to be there. It's not going to be special, but it'll be there. But surprisingly, it was actually better than I thought. This was actually a pretty good mid-card match. Cesaro always impresses me, and The Miz was actually not too bad in this match. Now, during this match, Kevin Owens was on commentary because he said after he defeated Sami Zayn, he was going to focus on the IC title. And during the match, Sami Zayn comes out and attacks Kevin Owens, and they're brawling outside. What I like about this, it's kind of different in a way. It's not the typical, just the distraction. It's a different type of distraction. You have Owens and Sami Zayn on the apron during the match fighting. Cesaro knocks them both down, and then Miz gets a roll up on the tights. Which, you know, classic heel move, but at the same time, it's Owens and Sami Zayn, you know, brawling, and Cesaro getting distracted by the constant attacking by two guys that aren't even involved with that rivalry. With that being said, Kevin Owens lays out everybody and is holding the inner. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry, my nose. Hang on, guys. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. My nose was hurting for a second. Anyways, sorry about that. So now there's already rumors going around that Extreme Rules could be a fatal 4-way for the IC title. Now I do see this fatal 4-way happening. However, I would rather it happen tomorrow. Oh my fucking god. Wish I had a piece of tissue right now. My nose is hurting, guys. I'm just sorry. I'm in pain right now. But I think they should save this match for tomorrow. Have The Miz retain, of course. And if you want, then you could do Cesaro versus Miz again rematch. Maybe do like a 2 out of 3 falls match, Extreme Rules. And then do Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn like a falls count anywhere or a last man standing match or something. Because quite honestly, The Miz and Cesaro has potential to be something. It should be its own match. And then Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens should do their own thing, Extreme Rules. I do not want these to be combined. If you want to do that on Raw tomorrow, or I should say tonight, actually, if you want to do it tonight, that's great. I'm all for it. I just don't want to see this match at Extreme Rules because I'd rather see Cesaro and The Miz in their own stipulation match for the title, and I'd rather see Owens and Sami Zayn in their own match in some sort of stipulation. I'd rather see those. So that way there's 3 matches now, and you'll understand what the next match will be at the end of the show. That's my only gripe, and I hope they do that. We'll see what happens. Next match, Dean Ambrose versus Chris Jericho. This match, again, was better than I thought. I knew this match was going to be good, but this match was actually a lot better than I thought. Both these guys worked well together, and Dean Ambrose finally got the victory. Dean Ambrose definitely needed this win because he's been on a major downhill spiral. They did nothing with him whatsoever. They had him lose randomly to Lesnar in one of the worst Mania matches of all time, hands down. And surprisingly, Ambrose and Jericho was supposed to happen originally at WrestleMania, but because they didn't have an opponent for Lesnar, they went, we'll just go with Ambrose. And then that was pretty much it. We'll just go with Ambrose and we'll do a throwaway match. And that was pretty much it. So I'm glad Ambrose won and he beat Jericho. So now, hopefully by now, they start using Ambrose a little bit more and they start using him better. That's what I can say. And who knows what they'll do with him now. I just hope they start using him a lot better because this guy is talented and this guy deserves to be the world champion. So I really hope they don't keep screwing him over like they have been doing the last few months and they actually do something with them. Because after this win against Jericho, it should be time where he should start slowly rising and maybe even win a Royal Rumble next year. Just a thought right there. Next match, we got Charlotte and Natalya for the Women's Championship. This match was meh. This match it had some cool spots, but the match wasn't anything good at all. I say this was probably the worst match these two have done thus far. I've seen their robot match was actually good. I've seen their Raw matches were actually pretty good, but this one was just meh. It was just boring. I couldn't get into it. Charlotte is kind of losing her wrestling ability a little bit. She's not like my friend Mitch said. She's very green. She's not the same Charlotte that we watched on NXT. In NXT, she was great, but ever since she came on the main roster, she's not as good. She's very green. She's very bland. She's very awkward in the ring. It's just, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because the character changed, and I'm so sick of Ric Flair getting involved. For the love of God, we're all sick of the Ric Flair thing. Charlotte should have been her own character, her own gimmick. She's complete copyright infringement 2.0 of she's just a female version of Ric Flair. Just because she's Ric Flair's star, you gotta always bring out Ric Flair. They always do the woos. They gotta have the similar music. They gotta now have the robe, and it's just annoying. But the match wasn't the worst part. It was the ending. You have Charlotte put Natalya in the sharpshooter, and then the referee rings the bell for no reason. And then everyone's confused of what just happened. And they pretty much did what they did back in Montreal with Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart SummerSlam. It was the Montreal screw job. Except this is now the Chicago screw job. It was stupid. It did not make any sense. The referee was not Scott Armstrong. It was Charles Robertson. He's not a heel referee. I don't understand why he called it. I don't know why did they do this ending? This ending didn't make any sense. What? Because Bret Hart was there. So let's screw Natalya because Bret's there. So, memories and, the Attitude Era, this is what people liked. It's like, no. And then that was it. And she won off a screw job. I'm like, that was just stupid. I was so confused and it was just terrible. I did not give a crap. This match was meh. This match was meh. Okay, I'm gonna say that right. The match with Nick and the ending was garbage. Next, before I get on to the last match, I want to get on to the Shane McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, and Vince McMahon promo about who's controlling Raw. Long story short, Vince has decided to make Stephanie and Shane both control Raw. So they're kind of doing what they did with Stone Cold and Eric Bischoff, where it was they shared half the profit each. Stone Cold got 50% of the profit, and Eric Bischoff got 50% of the company. And they pretty much had to share, and they're co-general managers. So that's what they're doing right here. I just don't want them to go that route where they go completely 2.0 on this. I hope it doesn't last forever. Because I like the Eric Bischoff and Stone Cold stuff, but I don't want it rehashed too much. I mean, it's kind of different in a way. Besides brother and sister, but at the same time, I don't want like too much like the Bischoff and Austin thing. I just don't want too much like that because it's kind of rehashing. Sometimes we don't mind it, but at the same time, we do kind of want stuff a little different, not the same stuff. So we'll see what happens with this, but I don't think really anybody really expected this. But it is interesting. We'll see what happens on tonight. Next match, we got Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles. First of all, this match was good. This match was very good indeed. The crowd was behind AJ, and the crowd despised Reigns, of course. Here's the thing. Again, everybody knew who was going to win this match. It was going to be Reigns. There were sometimes AJ I thought was going to win, but deep down I knew Reigns was going to win. I mean, I don't know. Like, knowing I would get pissed off and be like, oh, this is bullshit. But at the same time, there's no reason me to get pissed off because I'm just expecting to get disappointed. I'm just expecting Roman Reigns to be everybody, to beat everybody and hold that championship. Hell, again, I wouldn't be surprised if they let him hold the championship for 5 or 6 years. I would not be surprised at all. I'm not even joking there. And I don't want that to happen, but knowing WWE and how they're booking Roman Reigns, I swear to God, they will most likely do that because he's the guy. And here's the thing. I got an argument with Brandon. And Brandon is defending Roman Reigns so bad right now. It's like he really doesn't get it. I'm not saying he's stupid. He's a very smart guy. But when it comes to wrestling, you don't mess with me when it comes to wrestling. He's not a hardcore wrestling fan like I am. I'm not jumping on the Roman Reigns hate bandwagon. I didn't like it from ever since he came back. When he won Superstar Year, he didn't deserve it. Okay, he didn't deserve it because he was gone for like 3-4 months. And it was like, oh, here's your reward. Because you did barely anything. Seriously? You get the reward. That was stupid. Oh, because of the most eliminations, here you go. In your Rumble. Okay, see, that's the problem. I want to make this clear. If you saw the Roman Reigns rant, which I know all of you have, if you've watched my channel. If you haven't, watch it. The reason I can't stand Reigns, okay, I want to get this through everyone's head again. And I tried talking to Brandon. I don't hate Reigns as a person. It's not his fault. The reason we are booing Reigns is because we don't want this guy getting shoved down our throat. And maybe, just maybe, Vince will realize that. But Vince does not give a damn about his fans. Because if he did, Reigns would not be getting this big of a push. Okay? And then Brand made the argument, well, AJ Styles is getting a WWE Championship match in 3 months since he debuted, and nobody's complaining about that. Because he's not boring. Because he's not just some rookie guy, some new guy that is in WWE. This is AJ effing Styles we're talking here. This guy, at every promotion, is pretty much the face. He was the face of TNA. He was a big name in ROH. He was a big name around the world. Reigns was never big. He was never that guy. The only reason he's the guy right now is because WWE and Kevin Dunn like are shoving it down our throats, and they're trying to make him the guy. And the fact Brian said they're not trying to make him the guy is absolute horseshit. If you really pay attention, you know exactly what they're doing. And Brandon would realize that I heard that in the next 3 Manias, they're going to have Reigns' main event. Whether that means holding the title or winning the title or being some type of title match, whether he's winning or losing, he's going to be in 3 more main events. And you can argue, and he argued too, like, well, technically Cena is still the face for now. But if you notice, they're not using him a lot as the face. If you really think about that. If anything, they've been using him for mid-card matches, United States Championship, and he's injury prone. He's injured. And he looked at me confused, and he's like, Cena's injury prone? I'm like, yes. Have you not noticed? The guy has so many injuries. How many times has this guy had shoulder injury? How many times has this guy got an injury? I mean, for Christ's sake, when he came back at what, Royal Rumble time, it was supposed to be a Rumble match, and then he had to get surgery again. He had to be taking time off again. And now we're finally going to get him more. But watch, I'm willing to bet he's going to come back, and then he might get injured. Something might be wrong. He'll have to take time off again. Cena may be still able to compete for at least a few more years, but if the surgeries continue, he's going to have to quit. He's going to have to give up. He can't be in the company forever. He could go argue, well, Undertaker is 50 years old and he's still competing. But first of all, he's not the face of the company. Secondly, he only competes. He rarely competes. Usually when he competes, it's usually at Mania. Except for last year. Last year, he actually competed at a few other pay-per-view events because of the feud with Lesnar. That was one of those rare times where he competed more than once. But most of the time, from now on, he's only wrestled once a year. And he's 51 years old, like Brandon said, and he's going to retire. He cannot continue this. Whether he retires next year, we don't know when he's going to retire, but I guarantee you it will be soon. He can't continue to stay anymore. You can tell he probably doesn't want to do this anymore. He likes this, but at the same time, he's got to realize one of these days he's going to retire. Same thing with Cena. Look at Daniel Bryan. He retired at a young age. He was still in his mid-30s, and he had to retire. So if someone like Daniel Bryan can retire, there's no excuse why someone like Cena, who was more injury-prone, should retire. The reason why Undertaker isn't retired so early is because, one, he didn't get as many injuries as someone like Cena. And two, he's taking a lot of time off TV, so he's able to recover a lot more. Because they don't use him much. The only time they use him is usually for Mania. And I argue with him with that. The Reigns thing, I want to state right now, I don't hate Reigns as a person. I have no right to hate him. Yes, there are fans that legit hate him, like they can't stand him. Don't get me wrong, I can't stand Reigns. But the reason we can't stand him is because we don't want this guy being shoved down our throats. We don't want this guy becoming the face of the company when Cena leaves. When Cena leaves, are we really going to want this guy running our company for the next 12, 15 years? Really think about that. The reaction he's getting, do we really want this guy? No. Nobody wants this guy as the face of the company. This guy is not that talented. This guy is stale on the mic. This guy is bland as hell. This guy is just doing a Shield freaking gimmick, but very poorly. And the crowd's not into him. He does the same moves over and over again, and I'm sick of it. There's 6, 7 moves, and from time to time he'll actually do me a couple new moves. But that's still not good enough. The main problem is he's getting shoved down our throats. And again, you're complaining about AJ Styles. AJ Styles can wrestle, and he's not boring. He's entertaining. He does different things every match. Like the flying forearm, he put a Stanley Rowan through the table. That was new. We've never seen that done. Whenever AJ's in a match, you're going to watch. Even if it's a squash match, we're going to watch. If Reigns is in a match, unless it's somebody that's actually good and can actually hold Roman Reigns, we're not going to give a crap. That's the problem. Yeah, AJ may not be better on the mic, but the better part is he can wrestle. And plus, he lost. It wasn't like he won the title. And I agree with Brandon on certain occasions. Yes, I don't think AJ deserved to win the title yet. Maybe next year. I guarantee you he's going to win the championship, and he better win the championship. I just don't think now is the time. I think honestly you should wait. Start him at mid card, maybe like have him win like the United States Intercontinental Championship. Start him. Start with that. Let's see what he does with those titles. And then when the time is right, before he leaves the company, because he only has a few years, then give him the title. I'm not saying give him the title immediately, but I'm saying he will become champion. Every promotion he's been a part of, he's been a world champion. WWE would be stupid not to give the title to Styles, whether it be now or in sometime in the next year or two. He's going to be champion, and everybody knows it. We just don't know when. And in terms of the match, like I said, it was good. Roman Reigns won, and quite honestly, I kind of expected that. But now here comes the problem. People are already going to complain about AJ Styles being buried. Here's the thing. First of all, these two had an epic match. They went back and forth. Almost a half-hour match. This wasn't like Cena versus Bray Wyatt, where Cena dominated the feud and completely no-sold anything. These guys beat the hell out of each other, and they made AJ Styles look strong as hell. They didn't just make Reigns look strong; they made Styles look strong. Like he had a chance to win. He's gained a rematch at Extreme Rules. If he got buried, he would not be getting a rematch. And another thing, if AJ Styles was doing his moves and Roman Reigns with no selling anything, like throughout the time match, and all it took was literally one spear, that would be a burial. Or if Roman Reigns just dominated like 2 minutes of the match and then it ended with Reigns winning, that would be a burial. But this was not a burial, this was a match. Just like Owens and Sami Zayn. Owens did not bury Sami Zayn. And Ambrose did not bury Jericho. Miz did not bury Cesaro. Those were all matches, back and forth matches that could have gone either way. Nobody got buried. Am I mad Styles lost? Absolutely. Am I a big AJ Styles fan? You know he's one of my favorites. Do I despise Reigns? You're damn right. But at the same time, just because somebody wins over one of your favorites, that doesn't mean they bury them. AJ Styles is not going to be a guy that's going to be a jobber. This guy's going to be a main event. He's already main evented this pay-per-view. He's going to main event Extreme Rules next. This guy is going to be a champion. I guarantee you guys, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when and the right time. And who knows, AJ Styles could be put with other feuds to help build him up. Did you think about that? Like, what if Seth Rollins comes back and they have a match right there? 5-star classic match right there. That's going to get fans like that. AJ Styles to Money in the Bank. What if AJ Styles wins Money in the Bank? Yeah, he does. I'm not saying he has to cash in this year, but he can maybe save up for next year. Did you ever think about that? AJ Styles could win Money in the Bank this year if he's putting Money in the Bank. Well, AJ Styles versus Finn Balor. If Balor wins, are you going to say AJ Styles got buried? No. If AJ Styles beat Finn Balor, you will say Finn Balor got buried. I admit, some of the fans are dumb and they don't really think about this, but then for all the fans, really smart fans, that are smart, but let's realize, yes, it was dumb Styles lost, but he didn't get buried. If Extreme Rules, they literally have Reigns do one spear and then that was it. Like what they did with Sheamus and Bryan at WrestleMania 20 was a burial. That was a burial. Because 18 seconds, it was one move by Sheamus and Bryan just laid down and that was it. That's equivalent of a burial. So for all you guys that are complaining that AJ Styles got buried, he didn't. Because like I said, I'll go back and say this one more time. WrestleMania 32. Everyone complained about Jericho burying AJ Styles. But then look what happened on the next night on Raw. AJ Styles won a fatal 4-way to become #1 contender, face Reigns at Payback. And guess who he pinned to become champion? It was Jericho. So you're telling me AJ Styles still got buried after having a fatal 4-way and pinning the guy that he was feuding with? I don't call that burial. And then he has a great match tonight or last night. So does that mean he got buried still? No, he didn't, because now he's getting a rematch. Am I saying he's going to win? Am I saying Reigns is probably going to win Extreme Rules? Most likely. But if he does, that doesn't mean he's going to get buried. They're testing AJ Styles to see what he's capable of. And the fans are liking Styles, so they know they're going to give the title to him eventually. But they want the tie with Reigns. We may not like it, but think about this. They can't have Reigns hold the title forever. He will lose eventually. In my opinion, I don't think Styles is the guy to, I'll say, end Reigns. If anybody deserves to end Reigns' reign, it's either between Seth Rollins or Dean Ambrose. And personally, I think they should save Roman Reigns' loss at next year's Mania in a triple threat match with Rollins and Ambrose and have Ambrose win it. That's what I think they should do. Because we get a match we want to see, and then we get Ambrose as champion, which people have been wanting. You get two birds, you kill two birds with one stone on that night. Think about that. And you can still have AJ some great WrestleMania match. May have it be Cena or something. Or may have AJ Styles versus Finn Balor at Mania. And that'll be a great match. And who knows, AJ Styles could have the Money in the Bank briefcase. Did you ever think about that? Hell, we don't know what they could do. But don't get down and feel down. AJ Styles will become champion. It's just a matter of time. Okay? Other than that, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below, tell me what you think about this event overall. Besides some negatives about this, I thought this was actually a lot better show than I thought it was going to be. Raw starts at an hour for me because I live stream it here, so I don't have to wait until 8 o'clock, which I hate. But that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry for the little interruptions with my nose. My nose was starting to itch a little bit. But either that, I reviewed this pay-per-view. It was actually pretty good, besides some stuff in it that was like, or ugh, type of thing. You know what those are. That's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching this video. So take care, all my peeps, and I'll see you next time, whenever that is.